working with digital art and with photography, which, as you might know, gets kind of bad rep in the whole artistic community from time to time. We're being called cheaters, right? And imposters. So there's a nice synergy and a nice irony going on with the title of this exhibition as well. It's kind of, or
well, one of the things I want to say about that is the idea of the imposters and the cheaters. I would be careful with the statements. I don't want to start, we start to argue in front of everybody.
No, let's do that.
I wrote a paper a while back. It was kind of the first time I finally looked at my work and was okay. I'm okay. I'm all right. I'm not talking about any type of is my work good or not, because this I'm not the judge of that. But am I okay with the way I work? Am I comfortable with the way I work? Do I like working that way? And I had to question that because I come from a traditional painting and drawing background. And I started to throw photography into my work when I started to get frustrated because I was not good enough as a painter. And that's something that is...
I did that as well.
Yeah, but it's not often admitted. The fact that photography helps when you try to obtain an image that is perfect in your mind and you try to paint it and your skills are not at the level that you wish they could be, photography is a huge help. The thing is, working like that, I was always conscious that photography was not something that I loved to work with, but it was making up for something I could not do. And so I was always working in frustration, all the time. And I spent years and years building my actual painting skills and drawing skills. And photography did not become, it changed into something that helps me, into something that I use as a tool, as many other medium, I guess. Yeah. And I will let you take on that because you have another relationship with that. Because you painted on your stuff, but on mine, for example, some pieces are using direct photographies, like this one, that is painted over a photograph that I took with a model, and some work are not painted over photographies, but directly painted with a graphic tablet, with a reference shoot on the side, but still like completely painting from scratch. So today I'm extremely confident with all those things, and having this show today that questions this relationship that digital develops between what is painted, what is photography. Can we call a graphic tablet, can we call that painting? Because right now I'm starting to, probably I'm going to work with oil, and I know that it will not be the same at all than it is with a graphic tablet. So there is many
rather obsessed with the idea of trinities, like these theses and antitheses joined together in synthesis, and trying to develop something that is neither photography, neither painting. That's something else that hopefully will confuse everybody. But I believe that there's something important about that because it speaks deeply about human nature, that we are neither, of the devil or of God, but we are something else. We are this very complex union of things.
We are everything.
Yeah, we are everything. And I see that the artistic community is always polarized about that, and I've been polarizing about that. I've been having a lot of nights, really, I should be a painter. No, I should be a photographer. I should be this and that. And I realized all these impositions came from external sources, not me. Why I can't be me? So what you see is essentially the realization of that is taking actually a stand and saying, fuck you to everybody who doesn't agree.
I don't have that.
Yeah.
So
you don't do the fuck you?
No, I don't because I'm. In fact, you take a stand that I'm not taking, and I don't want to take it. So that's why. I do not. I have never been called out on what I do. Nobody ever told me, "Oh, you are cheating" or anything like that. That's not. This did not happen to me, so I don't have this kind of revenge to.
Oh yeah, I'm all about revenge. Okay. Incidentally, the show is called The Three Impostors, which is three pieces, a trinity. So that's kind of special, you know, being here, surrounded by all the people I love, in the city I love, with the artists I love, platonically, and nothing, anything else.
One of the things that I have been called out a lot, because, so let's be honest, like the field, the artistic field, you always hear people talking about what you do, you have good feedbacks and you have awful feedback sometimes, and one of the questions, what happened to me,
Here we go.
Most of the time, I have extremely good feedback about my artwork, and I can build my own happiness with what I do, and people being positive about it, and me keeping doing it. Not only that, but I have clients who like my work, so they give me money for doing what I love to do, so everything is just fine.
Yeah.
But sometimes, some random journalist decide to publish an article on a website, I think it's called Kotaku.
Okay.
Which I don't read this thing, I don't know what it is. But a student of mine said, "Hey, Bastien, you are on Kotaku!" I'm like, I did not answer any question, they never contact me, I'm not... And I go and check, and all the commentaries are, this man must be extremely sexually frustrated, he must be extremely ugly, he does not know how to paint, this is completely misogynist, this is... and so all this list of, oh, he's probably like the shittiest person on earth, and I started to like answer to the comments, and I never answered actually, because I was like, no, Bastien, step back, don't. If someone spit on me in the street, I jump straight to the face of this person. But on the internet, I don't like to waste my time with bad feedback, but that made me question. If those people are saying that, a lot of people are probably thinking the same. This exists, and I was actually a little bit saddened by that, because that's really not what my work is about. Yes, when I paint male models, I paint them the same way. I think that's my main answer to all the question about misogyny and things like that. But then I definitely have like desire for the woman figure, I guess.
But it's not about us being defined by others' opinions of our work or whatever we do, but it's about being confronted with these choices in life, right? And how we decided to take a stance again.
I'm not taking any stand.
Oh yeah, you're doing.
No, I'm doing my work. I'm doing my job.
You're doing the devil's work.
I'm not taking any stand at all. That's very important to me to specify that.
I can respect that.
I do my job as best as I love it, and that's it.
Well, how do you guys feel in terms of like commercial art versus personal art? Because you both are illustrators, you do both work commercially, and how are you feeling about that transition back and forth? Is it difficult or easy?
In fact, I'm not. I do not have time at all for personal work. It's gone, like for probably 3 years now. So I get around that by, for example, for this show, I get around that with some clients that will be open enough to, art directors that will be open enough to let me have so much input on the piece that I'm working on that I can consider it like a personal work. But I'm always flirting with that. I work with a lot of companies, publishers. I'm not going to make a list.
People might not know this, but he just joined the Magic the Gathering
club,
and now he's
Thanks.
Keep going.
And so there is Magic, there is Applybot. I work for Random House, Penguin. I'm not going to start making an advertising video for the brand I work with, but I am really happy to be doing that because I work only with clients who ask me to do stuff that they will not ask anybody else. So I feel that they're asking for my thing. So everything that I do professionally is very personal. I am getting extremely, I would not say lucky because I worked for that, but I'm getting at this place where I'm not being asked to do things that I don't care about. Every client who contacts me, they know what I do and they contact me for that. So yeah, the line, the career rising up made that this line between personal work and professional work got blurry, very blurry. Yeah.
How about you, Sam?
Well, the only difference that I encounter when I work for myself is that I'm the worst client ever. I'm the most difficult person to satisfy.
Mm-hmm.
So I never, ever since that first show with you here at Krab Job a couple of years ago, I never worked with anything that I don't felt a deep and profound emotional connection. It's just will not happen ever again. So I never get the feeling like doing something again that I don't want. So the differentiation between my personal work and my professional work, it has gone to be, it has been disappearing for a couple of years now. And that's something very important for me. Also, like trying to blur the line between this idea of illustration being separate from fine art because of reasons. And I've been approaching my illustration work in the same way I approach my fine art work, with the same articulation, with the same research, and with the same intellectualization. And it's funny because when I was trying to please everybody, and trying to do the hip thing and the new trendy thing to do, or doing the popular stuff, or doing the fan art of that Krab or whatever, I always struggle finding clients. But now that I'm more authentic and more true to myself, know that I have discovered the huge responsibility of knowing what you want, and that you need to get what you want no matter what. I've been getting more and more clients.
Mm-hmm. Because you get sincere place with your work, and that makes people want it, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you recommend that to upcoming artists?
Yeah, that's actually the most important thing, because every time I'm reviewing one artist or one student asks me to look at his portfolio, I find that it's really spread out. It's like you got concept art, you got animation, you got children's book illustration, all in one portfolio. And you ask, so what do you want to do? Well, at this point in my life, I just take anything and I would do anything. And I understand that because, in the first place, because maybe money is a huge concern for you. In the second place, because you have doubts about your art. And in the third place, because maybe that's the nature of desire, that you want everything. And you can have, the truth is, you can have everything, as long as you concentrate on one thing. And once you focus on that thing, focus, that sounds funny with my accent. I stole that joke from Hellboy. Once you focus on one thing, and once you are like an arrow in flight, you can get financial security, and you can start getting jobs. That will be your safety net. That will be also your tool for confidence and for self-discovery, because you will be authentic. You will be doing one thing that you love at first, but then you will start to have the meanings to pursue the other self. Like you will have money to take 1 month off and then work on whatever stuff interests you. And that experimentation and pursuing those forking paths will lead you again to what you started focusing on, and that will feed upon and create a greater body of work, a more articulate, a more interesting, a more profound, and a more diverse body of work.
When I was starting, and when I was anxious about the fact that I was using photographies in my work, I went to a very, very famous illustrator that was hanging out at a bar in Paris, and I asked him, he was like, hey dude, I like your work and everything. I'm like, well thanks, but I use photographs, I'm not completely legit. And he was, we all do. I was like, really? He's like, yes, of course, it saves times, we have like short deadlines, we need to meet the deadlines, we all do, we just paint over, make it look good, and whether you do it with a character, as I can do it in my work, or if it's like, I don't know, we all drop today, all those concept artists who work for like any video games, they drop photograph in their work all the time, and it gains value. And yes, we have an entire generation coming up who they are completely familiar with that. This afternoon we went to, this morning actually, we went to the Seattle Museum of Art, and with my wife we walked by a table where there was kids with tablets in front of them experimenting with digital painting on tablets. And there was also, there was every generation around this table with people experimenting with the digital painting software on tablets. And it was sweet. To me, it's, I see those things rising, and it's very, very interesting.
Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Thank you so much.
Please enjoy the art, and these two will be around for another hour. You can ask questions.
There is an abyss of being that man has never fathomed.